Welcome back. We're going to be doing a couple of algebra problems with parallel lines, transversals, and the angle relationship, so we'll just get right into it. Here we have a diagram where we have two sets of parallel lines, so you'll notice that the indication that they are parallel is the little triangles right here. So those two lines are parallel, and M and N are also parallel. So they want us to find out the value of x, and in the first example they tell us that the measure of angle 5, which is right here, is 2x minus 10, and we know that the measure of angle 7, which is right here, is x plus 15. So the first thing you have to do is notice that these are what's called corresponding angles, and the transversal is right here. So by definition that we've seen in the last few videos, they are congruent. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a mathematical statement. 2x minus 10 is going to equal x plus 15. Solve this equation for x. I'm going to add the 10 first, and I get 2x equals x plus 25, and subtract the x, and I get x is equal to, well, 2x is equal to, sorry, 1x is equal to 25. So that was the only thing that we needed to do, figure out x is equal to 25. Okay, so in the next example, I'm just going to press pause and erase. So in this example, identify your parallel lines, your transversal, and I want you to notice that if my parallel lines are the blue ones, this would be interior and this would be exterior. So the relationship between 4 and 8 is same side exterior. That means that those two angles together are going to make 180 degrees. So we have the equation plus 4y is equal to 180. First, use the distributive property. We get 4y minus 100 plus 4y is equal to 180. We're going to add 100 to both sides. We get 8y is equal to 280. Then what we need to do is divide, and when we divide both sides by 8, we get y is equal to 35. Alright, I'd like you to just press pause, try to work out the next ones, and then I'll go over the answers with you. Alright, so I have kind of drawn in some relationship between 1 and 2. We'll deal with the 3 in just a second. So if my blue ones are my parallel lines and the pinkish one is my transversal, I want you to notice that these are on the exterior, and they're also on opposite sides of my transversal. So they are alternate exterior, and the theorem says that they are congruent. So the first thing I'm going to do is set them equal to each other. Use my distributive property. I would get 10x minus 6 is equal to 9x plus 6. Let's see, I'm going to take the 9 away from both sides. I like to keep it positive, so I'd get an x on this side, add the 6 to both sides, and I get x equals 12. Well, in this case, we're not done quite yet, because they're going to ask us in the second part of the question to figure out what is the value of y. So press pause. Okay, so I want you to notice here that we found out that x is equal to 12, and now they're going to ask us to find the measure of angle 3. So I went ahead and just plugged 12 back in, and since measure of angle 1 and the measure of angle 2 are equal, then this angle right here is also 114. And we know by the fact that these are corresponding angles, again, I could just shift them down and they are congruent. So for our last solving part here, we're going to say 5y plus 14 is equal to 114. So we would subtract the 14 from both sides. We get 5y is equal to 100, and we then divide each side by 5, and we get y is equal to 20. So we found out both our pieces of information. So today is just going to be practice on using the algebra piece and using angle relationships to solve problems. There's one more slide I want to go over with you, and then that's the last thing. So it says, in a plane, if a line is perpendicular to one of the parallel lines, then is perpendicular to the other. So for instance, if we know that line T, which is a transversal, is perpendicular to A, and if we know that A is parallel to B, then T is also perpendicular to B.